Okay, so in this tutorial we're going to be talking about reducing energy transfers and reducing wasted energy. And the word that we're going to start using, that is really, really important to use in your written work, is dissipation. So we're going to talk about energy being dissipated and how we want to reduce the amount of energy dissipated. Dissipated means that the energy is going to spread out in all directions, and that's what happens when we have an energy transfer. So first of all, let's remind ourselves that energy can be transferred into another useful form. It can be stored, or it can be dissipated, which is another way of saying wasted. But it cannot be created or destroyed. Every time we change energy from one form into another, or we make a change to a system, some energy is going to be dissipated. Okay, some energy will be wasted. By different amounts. Sometimes lots of energy will be dissipated, and sometimes a little bit of the energy will be dissipated. But every time this happens, the energy is going to be stored in a less useful way. And this is where our wasted energy comes in. Now, right at the beginning of the course, we looked at the following examples of situations where there was an energy change, an energy transfer involved. Now, as we've done more of the course, you've actually looked at more of these situations. So, for example, we've looked at boiling water in a kettle. We've looked at a car using its brakes to slow down. We've looked at accelerating a ball with constant force. We've looked at dropping an object that does not bounce. And we've looked at burning coal. And so you can now describe the energy transfers involved with those, and say which type of energy there was before and which type of energy there was after, and what types of dissipated energy you get. But remember, always if we're talking about reducing wasted energy, we want to be using this word dissipated. So obviously, one of the things that we want to do is reduce the amount of wasted energy every time there is an energy transfer or a change to a system. Because energy is useful, we can use it to do things, we don't want to waste it. So we've got different ways of reducing how much energy is dissipated. So some of the key things to bear in mind are that we design machines and buildings to reduce unwanted energy transfers. So generators and power stations, they are designed to reduce the energy dissipated by heat and mechanical vibrations. Cars, which have got chemical fuel in them, that is then ignited in an engine, and we looked at the what's going on with the gas and doing work on the gas and the gas doing work in a previous lesson. But they are designed to be more fuel efficient so that we reduce the energy dissipated. We do that by streamlining the car to reduce air resistance, and we lubricate the moving parts, so we put oil in the engine to reduce friction. And that reduces the energy dissipated into other forms that aren't useful. Now remember, in our previous topic, right at the beginning of the year, when we were talking about efficiency, because obviously the more efficient a transfer is, the less energy will be dissipated, we said that we could increase the efficiency of transfers by making things more streamlined, making things move more slowly, and also by inventing and using machines to do jobs for us rather than doing jobs lots and lots of times. We could use a machine to do the work for us. Now, the final thing we need to talk about is how we stop the transfer of energy from our homes that we've been heating to the surrounding air outside, because this is a big source of wasted energy. There's lots of energy dissipated from our homes. So we've got different things that we can do to our homes. So some design features include the chimney, by putting loft insulation in, by having double glazing, by doing things to our walls like adding cavity wall insulation in between two layers of bricks. We can add carpets to the floor. And all of these things will reduce the energy dissipated to the air outside our homes. Now, one of the terms that we have to use when we're talking about this is thermal conductivity. Okay, it's a measure of the rate of energy transfer across a material by conduction. So if a material has a higher thermal conductivity, the energy is transferred by conduction more quickly across that material, and so there'll be more dissipated energy. So things that we can do, we can make sure that our walls are thicker, because then there's a slower rate of heat loss. We can make sure that our walls have got a lower thermal conductivity, so we have to choose the material carefully, and then that will make the rate of heat loss lower. And we can think about how much area of wall, how much wall area there is in a building. So bigger buildings with more wall area dissipate more energy. They're more expensive to heat. Now that is about it. So make sure you've got some notes on that. You could do a little bit of reading in the textbook about how chimneys and loft insulation and double glazing carpets reduce energy transfer in our home, but make sure those are in your notes. And remember, key terms for this are thermal conductivity and dissipated energy.